Let's decorate this 3-layer 8-inch chocolate sponge cake with chocolate buttercream filling. So I like to use the upside down method when I'm decorating buttercream cakes, and to do that I have a round ganache plate and I just attach a round circle of baking paper to it with some ganache, and then this is going to be the top of the cake, so I cover the whole lot of it with my cream buttercream and flip it upside down onto the baking paper, and then I fill my cake with chocolate buttercream and stack it. Once I've done that, it goes in the fridge to firm up for around half an hour. People often say I should halve my cakes again widthways and add more buttercream, but there is a reason why I don't do that. I'm happy to explain why on another video. It's quite warm here, so I thought I would do a layer of milk chocolate ganache first, just to add that extra bit of stability and support. So I just crumb coat with that using my palette knife, and then it went in the fridge again to firm up. Sometimes people think they can't cover a chocolate cake with light buttercream, but you can, as long as you do a really good layer of it just to hide all the chocolate cake. So I went round with a nice thick layer of the vanilla cream buttercream with my palette knife, and I just kept scraping around with my scraper, running it under hot water each time, filling in any gaps and scraping again, going clockwise and anti-clockwise until I was happy with the finish. This takes some patience to get a really good neat finish, but you just have to keep going and persevere until it's nice and neat and smooth. I then put it in the fridge again to firm up. I used a sharp knife to cut off the excess buttercream, and then when it was time to go on the board, I put a big blob of ganache on the top, which is going to be the bottom, and flipped it the right way onto the board. I then leave it at room temperature for a little while until it crusts over, because this just makes it easier to decorate. I covered this board in fondant last week, so it was nice and firm now and ready for the cake. I put some buttercream in a piping bag and just filled in that gap around the bottom of the cake. If you've got decorations and things going on the cake here, you don't necessarily have to do this, but I just wanted a nice clean finish at the bottom of my cake. I used these pink candy buttons mixed with some sunflower oil. I just melted them together until they were a good drip consistency, and I just did a drip over part of the cake, and then I covered the whole top of the cake with the pink. I added the topper and some sprinkles all around the bottom of the cake. Then I used this nozzle. This is a drop flower rose nozzle, and I just did a really big lovely swirl all around the top of the cake, and this is great for if you're adding sweets and chocolates, because they can just sit in this swirl nicely and it will grip onto them. More sprinkles over the top of the swirl in pink and rose gold, and then I added some pink and gold Lindor truffles and some meringue swirls and some more buttercream swirls as well. I tried to distribute them evenly so that the cake looked balanced. I added a fondant number 40 that I had painted with gold, and here is the finished cake all ready. I've said it before, but cream and pink together is one of my favourite colour combinations, and this is the second cake I have made like this, and I just really like how pretty it is.